I got a holiday haul. A holiday Sephora VIB sale rouge haul happening right this moment. There's a whole bunch of goodies here. It's a little palette heavy, but it's all good. It's all good. There are adventures and misadventures in this haul. There is a little, if you see my teacup over there, that's a Royal Albert. I bought it for my birthday. And by, I think it's Miranda Kerr. And there's gonna be a touch of tea spilling. Just a little dribble, just a little dribble. So hold on and let's get started. First up is the big kahuna, and guess what that is? I think everybody wanted this Sephora VIB rouge sale. And I forgot to say, you get 20% off. So I did it in the first rouge. This year was really fantastic because you got both the rouge and then you got the Beauty Insiders, and they got their separate sale, but now the rouge was included in it so that we got two separate individual sale times, but I only used the one. So now the first one. So, and that's all I needed for real, because listen, after doing that first rouge sale, I was fine, and I got so exhausted after that. I will tell you why. The first one is the big kahuna that everybody wanted, and that is the Natasha Denona Sunset Palette. Now, let's just open it up because it's just too beautiful. And here it is in all its glory, and look at it, it's just so beautiful. So this is what I got, and now this comes with a bit of a misadventure, an adventure and misadventure, because this was a little bit of a slippery eel. When Natasha brought it back in online, it stayed on there, it was consistent, it wasn't going in and out of stock, and so I was going, okay, good, it will be in stock for, surely it will be in stock with the Sephora VIB sale. I was so excited about the rouge sale that I called Sephora up, their online phone number up, the customer service, because I knew that it would be turning on Sephora online at, I believe, 12 a.m. PST time, 3 a.m. EST time, and I am EST time, and I'm in Canada. They told us, yes, that is for sure. So if you stay up, if you're in EST time, Eastern Standard Time, if you stay up until 3 a.m., it will go live and you will be able to get what you want at that time. So what I did was I prepared my basket. I included this in there. Everything was set up to hit purchase right on the dot of 3 a.m. But I thought, you know what? Maybe just in case, I will check it around 12:30 a.m. my time, just in case it went live a little earlier. So when I did, of course, it didn't work. So I thought, okay, I decided, oh, well, maybe obviously it's going to be exactly on the dot. So like a good girl, I waited until 3 a.m. Well, actually about like a minute before 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I went online. Who told me to do that? That was like the dumbest move. I should have been checking every 15 minutes, every half an hour, where sure enough, this little slippery eel decided to slip out of the basket, say it was not in stock. As soon as I went to my basket, boom, it was gone. It was not in stock anymore. So I was not happy. I was so, you have no idea, because I had been anticipating this purchase for a very long time. Like, okay, wait a second, backup plan. You know me, I always have backup plans. So if you watched my wish list, I have a backup plan to a backup plan. So in case that didn't work, but I really didn't think that was gonna happen, but it did. But I had a backup plan because I knew that there was a Sephora in my area that actually still had it in stock in their store. So listen, I had stayed up until 3 a.m. Well, I jumped into bed so fast. I behaved myself, but listen, I was so sleep deprived because I'm not an early morning riser. And I got up at 8:30 a.m., called the Sephora store just in case somebody would answer. Sometimes they do, little secret. Sometimes really nice Sephora cast members do. And yeah, I know it's turning into a story time, but I can't help it. This is what happened to this thing. So I called and a cast member answered. I was like, miracle, the skies opened up. He answered at 8:30 a.m. I said, you know what? You are a real sweetie pie for doing this. So I asked him if he had it in store. He said, absolutely. I asked him if he could put it on hold for me because I'm thinking during the Sephora VIB, number one, they won't answer the phone. Number two, not before 10. Number three, they're not going to hold anything. But you know what? Ask and you shall receive. So a friend of mine told me that you never know, ask. So I did. I learned a really good lesson from that. And it's biblical. He said, no problem. I'll put your name on it. What's your phone number? I asked him what his name is. In my excitement, I forgot. And he said he would hold it for 2 days. Never mind the Sephora VIB. I will hold it for 2 days for you. So I said, I said, I'm coming into the store today. Well, man, I got myself to that store at 10, probably 02, because I had to go to the washroom. I'm on medication that makes me go chronically. I have to do a what do we say? There was a phrase we said before when we have to go to the washroom right before we go out. Well, I do that all the time, but never mind that. By the time I'm halfway to my destination or when I get to my destination, I have to go to the washroom again. So I was like a minute to 2 minutes late to the store at 10 a.m. and it was already churning with people. So I said, you know what, just in case I had another backup plan, just in case the sweet Sephora guy didn't put it on hold for me, I ran to that area of Natasha Denona. Sure enough, there was 2 or 3 still available. I pulled one off the rack, put it in my basket right away, just in case. And of course, I proved the store did some other shopping. You'll see what they were. And then I stood in line for 20 minutes. And of course, I'm massively sleep deprived because I went to bed at 3 a.m. and stood in line for 20 minutes, got to the counter and said, well, I've got this here, but a wonderful cast member did put one aside. I didn't want them to keep it on hold because I wanted somebody else to have it. So I said, look, you can take it off the hold because I'm getting the one that's in my basket. They said, no problem, but we will just leave it there and we will take it off the hold at the end of the day. So no worries. Somebody will have it. So I said, great. Did my purchases, had a long day because I had to go to the doctor's office. I treated this thing with kid gloves, wrapped it, packaged it, put it in a special bag inside the Sephora bag. I mean, I had it locked and loaded on me. I remember I had an old boyfriend. By the time he did whatever prank he did, he wasn't my boyfriend anymore. But by that, he was a beautiful Italian stallion sort of guy, but that was decades ago. Anyway, and he was big. I like big men. And I remember learning from him because I don't know how he got this money, but he had a suitcase full of money that he was dragging around with him in the club, and he had chained himself, had locked himself to the suitcase. Well, remember, he was not my boyfriend anymore when he did that stunt, and we were all telling him what the crazy ass, what are you doing? You're crazy, blah, 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 blah. But that was years ago when we were guys, we're naughty. But I had nothing to do with that. Anyway, I decided I am chaining myself to this palette, my little contraband, and I held on to it tight. When I sat down on the subway, it was all strapped on me. I don't care where I was. I would put it down gently, take it up. I had to go to the doctor's office. I had to rest in between because I had to kill time, so I'd nap whilst I took my tea in Starbucks, this, that, the other. By the time I got home after my doctor's appointment, it was around 4:30, 5 o'clock. Well, right away, I opened my bag, opened this thing, shock and awe. Volcano, the chocolate one, was broken in half, like decapitated. And I'm like, no! No way, no way. And you have no idea how exhausted I was. But adrenaline kicked in. I called that Sephora. I said, listen, you have a palette on hold for me. Do you still have it on hold? They checked. They said, well, yes, we do. I said, listen, I came all the way home. My thing is broken. I can't have this. Please, can I come back and exchange it? They said, no problem. It will still be there. Do you know, I sat down, I ate my dinner, took my pill, went right back out. I was so exhausted. I got to Sephora, had to wait in line again for 20 minutes. A sweet Sephora cash lady was serving me, and she's going, oh, okay, I'll check in the basket. They have a whole basket behind the counter. She goes, but you know, they don't normally hold stuff. And I said, but they told me on the phone. So she says, okay, I'll check. So she goes through the basket. She pulls one Natasha Denona palette, but they all come in these boxes. So she pulls one. I go, no, that's the star palette. She puts it back. She pulls out another one. I say, no, that's the purple blue palette. Now I'm in a panic. I'm going, no, 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 you've got to have it. You've got to have it. She pulls another one. No, that's the green palette. I'm going, you've got to have this thing. So she checked more of a senior person, and they canoodled together. I said, please don't do this to me. I've been up all day, all night for this palette. Please don't do this to me. Don't put me in a panic here. So they canoodle together. I see her run off, this time beyond the counter, out of the cash area, and I'm going, oh, I think maybe they're going to the back of the store. Well, sure enough, that sweet guy, let's say his name was Peter, the one that answered the phone in the morning, he had tucked it away. He wasn't even chancing putting it on that in the back counter basket. He made sure to tuck it away with my name and phone number on it, a proper hold in the back, holding it for me, and that's where she found it. Holy freaking cow. That was my adventure for this palette. So you can tell, you see that? Look at that shine. Natasha, me love your palettes. I went through all that for this. That was my misadventure of the Natasha Denona Sunset Palette that almost slipped away, but didn't, because I had a backup plan to a backup plan to a backup plan. So the next one in line. Now I just gotta calm myself down, because that was a story time. And we still have some tea to spill. So the next one in line is the Golden State of Mind. Now let me tell you, I was not planning on getting this palette, because when I saw it on Instagram, now how do you open this darn thing? When I saw it on Instagram, it wasn't like yanking my chain. It wasn't like, I wasn't getting a nice gut feeling about it. It seemed kind of boring. But the problem was you weren't seeing the twinkles and the glitters light up in this palette. And the way it just kind of looks, simple and whatever. So it was not on my list. The thing is, when they were marketing it online, they were saying in Canada it's only going to be online, not in the stores. But this particular store, surprise, surprise, had it. So here I was at the Natasha Denona shelf, and somebody behind me goes, oh, there's the ColourPop palette. I'm going, what? So there it was at the end of one of the aisles, at the top of the aisle. And it was hidden on a lower shelf. And I'm going, you don't do that to a ColourPop palette. And sure enough, Golden State of Mind was on there. So I said, I'm still going to check it out, because you know what? I'm always going to give something a chance, right? So I opened it up. Still wasn't quite impressed, because I wasn't seeing the twinkle in the lights. So I started swatching this baby. Well, I went and swatched Pay the Piper. Listen, these are golden surprises, kind of like the element of surprise. Well, this is like golden surprises, because this is like it's kind of buttery. It's kind of got thick, creamy, metallic base with a glitter infused in it. So it's a glitter eyeshadow palette, and it's appropriate for, I don't know, everybody's like complaining, oh, you know, I gotta pair it with another palette. No, it's an accent palette, just like the Fenty is an accent palette. You pair it with another palette. Oh my God, it sounds like Peter Piper picked a pack. That's the way it's supposed to be used. This is holiday. This is glitter paradise. This is fun. This is party. This is follow the star, the Jesus star in the heavens to Jesus in the manger. This is glitter time. And this is a glitter paradise. I did swatch some, but I'm gonna swatch it here so you can see what I'm talking about. And this, so the top rows are really light and there's a whole bunch of glitter in this, and it's a metallic base. The Fenty one is all glitter. It doesn't have a metallic base, whereas this comes in a base of a metallic buttery base. So it's got more substance to it. The glitter is less than the Fenty, but definitely glitter. I am all for that, as you can see my glitter nails, and I am like totally thrilled about this palette. So they're all like this. The first row is the lighter row, which you can use as highlighters all over your lid, halo eyes, toppers, and this one, these two, well, they all do, but particularly the light ones here make amazing toppers. I put this over a purple in Jaclyn Hill's palette. You have no idea what that looked like. Blows you away. Try them as toppers also, but this, listen, this I'm not just using as toppers. It's not a topper, not just a topper palette. This is an all over the lid palette. This is a party in a palette. So I am so happy that it showed up at Sephora. I got to swatch it. I nearly fell over and it changed my whole mind. So sometimes these Instagram pictures aren't always impressive, but listen, I am impressed. Next one is the Prism palette, and I was trying to decide between because I love the aesthetic of Kat Von D's palettes, and I definitely love the cathedral aesthetic. I love the whole bunch of colors. I love the cathedral pattern. And I love the colors in the palette. This is like a mini version of it. It has very similar colors as with the Kat Von D palette. And I was trying to decide between the two. This one out because it was less expensive. Also, to be honest with you, I just didn't want to bring that devil home. I didn't want to bring the devil home. I know that the devil is depicted in some beautiful cathedral stained glass windows. It's part of the redemption theme because we are being redeemed from a fallen world. But I just couldn't do it. So this was my little compensation package. And the hilarious thing is that when I went in the aisle for the Prism palette, the Satan Center palette was on the opposite side. So this aisle had the Prism and this aisle had, facing each other, the Satan Center palette. So I thought it was a hoot. And in fact, I swatched a couple of colors, like, what is this one? Dimension is very similar to a color in Kat Von D's palette, and a couple of others were very similar. We've got a yellow in there. So anyway, I was very, very happy to pick this one up, and I'm gonna be enjoying this. I want to say one thing, not all of the shadows in here are as pigmented as I'd like, as buttery. This one here is not that buttery to swatch. It's a little harder to swatch, and some of them, like even Pyramid and Sphinx, when you swatch them against, I have another, let me just show you something, because I have a summer version of a Anastasia Beverly Hills single, and they're very similar colors, but I can tell you that they don't swatch as creamy. So if I compare Pyramid to Anastasia Beverly Hills Sunset, they're very, very, very similar, but check this out. Sunset is very juicy, very luscious. Super buddy. Look at that. It just comes out like a waterfall. Now, if I do pyramid, see, look at the difference. It's not as pigmented, it's not as buttery, it doesn't have as much substance to him. So this one is a lot thicker. You can indent it a little bit easier, you can almost push it down, and this one doesn't have that quality to it. You have to press in a bit more. Let me just try this one. I think this one is one of the more buttery ones. This is Sphinx. See, look at the difference. So it doesn't have the butteriness of her single and Sunset. Both of them don't. I was a bit disappointed in that because there is a color in the subculture that is practically as buttery as the Sunset in her summer collection. So I was a bit disappointed because when I was swatching it, I was expecting that kind of quality, and I'm not getting that kind of quality. And Eternal definitely is not going to have that. It's basically a micro glitter. So that one you have to swatch and swatch and swatch to get pigmentation out of that one, like layers. But still, it's a beautiful palette. The colors are really cool, great for the holidays, so I'm still excited to use it, but with some caveats. So the next one that I picked up at the store was another surprise palette, and this is the Huda Beauty. See, I always, every single time I keep on saying Huda Beauty, because her palettes, you know what, they kind of like have some fun and flair to it. So Huda Beauty. So this one is the Mauve Obsessions, and she put out, I think it was 4 Obsession palettes, mini palettes. And again, I saw it on Instagram and I wasn't impressed. In fact, I was like surprised, like, why is she putting out these small dinky little palettes? What the heck for? I was not in the mood. But when I was in the Sephora store, again, it was almost kind of, no, this time it was on eye level, but again on one of the ends of the aisles. And I just happened to walk past it, stop. I was looking at something else and it was right there and went, whoa. And I saw the mauve one and I went, wait a minute. And listen, I love the colors, though it doesn't look mauve. I think it's a misnomer. They should have called it, they should have called it, what's the word called again?
2,000 years later.
Burgundy Obsessions. They should have called it Burgundy Obsessions, because this is not mauve. This is burgundy. This is plum. This is pink. And anyway, once I saw this, I'm like, this is right up my alley. And not only that, I can use every color in here. When I looked at this is like 100% use. I can use the whole thing of this, and I love it because you got your mattes, you got your deepening mattes, and then this one's a bright burgundy plummy goodness, and they're pigmented, and then you've got almost like 3 different versions of lid colors. One of them is more glittery and pinky, the other one's a little bit more. They're all like different variations, and they're absolutely gorgeous. And then you've got it all over like highlighter, base color. I mean, this is such a balanced palette, and they're all like that. So I was super duper impressed, and when I swatched them, let me just swatch 1 or 2 of them. So I'm going to swatch this one, my favorite ones. And I love them because they've got these beautiful, for me, this is a transition color. I know a lot of people like this as their transition, but I like this. So it's so balanced a palette. You've got your lights, you've got your darks, you've got your lids, you've got your, so this, look at this color. So pretty, so pretty. Perfect for fall and winter. And not only that, it is tiny. This thing actually is so impressive because you actually get still the same amount as a normal palette would. It looks tiny, and that was the other thing I'm thinking, oh, you're hardly getting anything in it. Just like this one, the MAC one, you hardly, it just seems like almost kid makeup. But believe me, there's way more in this. There's actually 1.1 grams of product per pan. I know Huda was saying that it's the exact same amount. Maybe they mislisted it on here, but on here it's 1.1 grams. On the Sephora site, it says it's a bit more, 1.3, but on the packaging, it actually says it's 1.1 if you convert. But that's still a good amount of product per pan. It's tiny. If you compare it to this, so you get a good amount of product. Huda Beauty, you get, oh God, here we go again. Huda Beauty, you get 1.4 grams of product per pan. Whereas with this one, you get 1.1 per pan. So with Prism, you're only getting 0.7 grams of product. So you're getting way more in this tiny little thing, and look at the size of it. So it's perfect for putting in your purse, like doing a daytime look, and then adding a little bit of glitter in one of these ones to top your eye look off in the evening and go and play. So it's day to play. So yeah, I am so happy. This is like a perfect little purse palette. Now, there's a couple of things that I didn't get on the Sephora Rouge 20% off sale, but I wanted to add it in here because I think they're beautiful and I think they deserve an honorable mention. So the first one is, and this is the one, we got to get some tea going here. This is the Fenty Beauty Galaxy palette. I almost forgot the name of it. And listen, perfection for the holiday season, because this, look at this oil slick, rainbow, holographic beautifulness. And this is what it looks like. And this palette is all glitter and glow. And you know, I'm a glow girl, and probably all you guys out there are glow beauties. So this is all up my alley because it's all glitter. It's an all glitter palette, and it's an accent palette. This was made for the holidays. This is a party in a palette. I am so happy that I got it, but listen, there has been a lot of flack over this palette, and I just do not understand it. So let me get, you see that beautiful tea thing over there? This teacup that I bought for my birthday? It's got some lovely tea in here, double bergamot. I do not want to spill it, but we're gonna spill a little. We're gonna spill a little. So here's my beautiful tea, and I bought this for my birthday, and this is the Miranda Kerr collection, and I just bought one. They have them in different colors, and let me just sip my double bergamot, excuse me. Ah, beautiful. Now we're gonna talk some talk here. This here has been getting a bit of flack, right? Because everybody's saying, oh my gosh, it doesn't have any mattes. I don't understand it. You know, I have to pull out another palette. Oh, woe is me. And I'm like, do you not understand that this is, it says it on the Sephora site. It says that it's an accent palette. It is a glitter in a palette. It's supposed to be used for those special occasions. The nice thing about this glitter is that it's very fine milled glitter. It's not like the bigger glitters like the Huda's Cosmo, which I absolutely love and gets a lot of flack for. This one actually does set a bit. Once you put it on, it does set, because I put it on my skin and then it sets, and when I try to move it, it doesn't really move. So there's a little bit of a glitter glue in that. So that one's a bigger glitter, whereas this is smaller glitter. So everybody's complaining about it, and it is an accent palette. That's what it's meant to be used for. It's just like the Moon Dust, the Urban Decay Moon Lotta does palette that nobody complained about. It's just like the Glitter Bomb palette of Too Faced that nobody complained about. In fact, there was somebody, see, this is the Glitter Bomb palette, and it's exactly the same. The only difference is that the Glitter Bomb came with a white and a black as transformers. That's it. But you still have to bring in another palette, like a Tarte palette. And in fact, there is a very famous influencer. I love her, I watch her, and she complained through the roof when she did her demo of this palette. She was mad that she did not have, let me just hold on a second, I've just got to drink a little tea. She was mad that she didn't know. She was seriously upset that she had to bring in another palette. I'm going, what is the problem? This is an accent palette. If you understand the premise of this palette, it says it even on Sephora's site, then you shouldn't have a problem with this palette. It's a holiday palette. It's an edition, holiday edition palette. It's glitter, it's glow, it's a party in a palette. And so she was so mad. She was complaining all through her demo about it. She said, look, see, I have to pull in another palette. She pulls in a Tarte palette. She does her crease colors, complaining all through it that she had to do that. Then she applies it, still complaining about it. It was a mucky mess of a demo. She gave it a thumbs down. I was just as mad as her, but because of the fact that she was giving she was misrepresenting this palette, and she was not giving it its fair due. And then I'm thinking, wait a second, as I'm watching, I'm going, wait a second, hold up. I do not have a short memory. I surely remember her doing a very similar review on another very similar palette with raving reviews. Turns out I went back onto her channel, sussed it out, and sure enough, it was in the summer she did the review of the Glitter Bomb palette. She did not use the transforming mattes in there. She didn't need to, but she did. She happily reviewed this, gave it glowing review, said, oh, here's my Tarte palette that I put it out to do my ting, and then I applied my ting, my twinkles on my lids, had a glorious time, gave it a rave review, was as happy as a lark. In fact, then I remembered, wait a second, didn't just after that raving, glittery review of this palette, didn't she do one strictly for Too Faced, like a Too Faced kind of commercial demo of this? Sure enough, I looked on, there it was, the Too Faced version under the Too Faced channel. She also did a little demo of this under the Too Faced banner. No complaints. I wasn't having any problems, any issues, and suddenly with this one, she's having a hissy fit. Let me tell you, that is my little spilt tea. Sometimes, you know, you gotta take people's reviews with a grain of salt and balance it out with what you really like, what you really enjoy, what you want to use it for. Also, you know, you've got to kind of assess what they're doing, where they're coming from, and I kind of assess kind of like as a double mind, because one minute she had no problems with a glitter palette and pulling out her matte palette to bounce it out, and this is the same approach. So I have no issues with this. I am as happy as a lark. I think it's an amazing thing to do palettes of this kind where you can just like go to it for your glitter. I have a glitter palette that I can pull out whenever I want my glitter. It's in all these beautiful glittery colors, so I can make my choices. This is what I have on my lids right now, and I am a happy camper, and my crease are mattes, and that's the way it's meant to be used. So I really don't have a problem with that. That I got was this of course I had to get the pair. So this is the Aries, Natasha Denona's Aries palette, and this is the brother. I call it the brother to the Joya palette. So I did get it. I couldn't resist. And both of these palettes actually got through, I didn't actually purchase them per se. I got them through Sephora credits because I had some extra credits from returning. Actually, one of them was the Subculture palette because I found out that turned out I'm allergic to the Subculture, the greens in the Subculture. With my last video where I did the review on the Subculture palette, the greens in that, by the end of the day, my eyes went haywire and I had to wash it off quickly, soak my eyes for 2 days, and thank goodness I caught it really fast. So that went back. I held on to it for a little while over the time limit before I could get my money back, but then again it just compiles Sephora credits. So I had compiled some Sephora credits and that's what I ended up doing. So I was so happy that I did that, and because I got my glitter palette that I've always wanted and the brother. To add more glitter to the mix, I did get this from Sephora, Nails Inc. Dirty Unicorns. Now this is absolutely gorgeous, but my nails don't hold on to nail polish very well. I don't know what it is, or whether I've got like an oily bed on my nails that you can't really see but is there. So my nails have a hard time holding on to nail polish. One of the only ones that hold on to at least for 3 days. Invariably by the 3rd day or the 4th day it's starting to chip, but at least that's better than 2nd day chipping that all my other nail polishes do. So whether it's OPI or there's another trendy one that's really, really good, they just chip within the 2nd day. Doesn't matter how many top coats I put on, undercoats, what have you, it just doesn't work. But Sally Hansen's does. This is absolutely gorgeous. But if I had seen that Sally Hansen's did a version of this, I would have picked it up instead. And I found out that Sally Hansen's does a version of this. It's so much less expensive. It's half the price. And I think that you get the same effect. For people that do not have the nail problem that I have, this is beautiful. I don't have it on my nails. This is a Sally Hansen one that I have on my nails right now. And as you can see, it's chipped. But that was 3rd day chipping as opposed to 2nd day chipping. And sometimes I've been known to have it chipped the 1st day. So I'm very unlucky with my nails. And even with enamel nails, I'm unlucky. I don't even get me started on enamel nails because that chipped within the 2nd day too. So I'm just unlucky with nail polish. I still keep on trying, and I'm really loving the metallic nail polishes that are coming out now. It's all the rage, and this is like my Purple Paradise one. So I hope you enjoyed my little Sephora VIB sale Rouge 20% off haul. I know it was a little long. I know there was a bit of story times and even a little spilling of some tea. And my contraband of palettes and nail polish and you name it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I'd love to hear what you got on the Sephora sale. Did you pick up anything? I didn't pick up any skincare, but let me know what you got. I'm so excited to hear what everybody got on the Sephora VIB sale. Did you get what you want? Did you get skincare? Did you get palettes? Did you get a whole bunch of other things? I went kind of palette crazy on this one, and then I stopped, and then that was it. I'm good. I'm good. This is gonna set me up for a while. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button so that you can keep up with all my videos that will be coming up and you'll be notified. And just remember, rock your own kind of beauty and keep on going and keep on glowing. I will, especially with this and this.